watch the replay from yesterday in there. And if you haven't joined yet, please join, because it's a great place to stay in touch and ask questions. And here is the page. I recognize several names, so I know a lot of you are in, but if you're not. What age was I when I started selling on Amazon? Well, how old am I now?
Yeah.
Here, I'll entertain you guys before we started. Jamie started selling like over 10 years ago. I started selling in 2021 and 2021, I would have been 41. So I was 41 when I started and I'm 42 and a half. Does that make sense? Okay, but secret, some of you know this, some of you don't. I actually tried selling in 2017 when I was 37 and my kid was 2.5 and I remember potty training him. Or no, my kid was just born 2017. And I created a product that was more of a passion product and it had to do with babies. And this is a story for another time, but it was a terrible product. And I learned a lot. And that's one of the reasons I like the coach, because my first product did not work. And so I came back around in 2020, decided I wanted to sell again. And then it was like right after my 40th birthday. So I was 40 actually when I started selling. Yeah. So I was 40 when I started my first store. Yeah.
We're live streaming here. So we'll just officially kick it off for everyone. I know some people end up watching the replay, but of course, all you guys are here live with us. Really excited for today, Joey. We've got some really cool things. And I think Joey answered the question about when I started really around 2011, 2012 is when I first started. But as Joey and I have talked about, it's really, we're always kind of reinventing ourselves and it's a different time. And in a lot of places it's been, it's better, bigger and better than ever to be the opportunity right here. What's up, Sam? Good to see you again. Yeah. And so you guys, just to orientate you guys again, if you guys were not on here yesterday, don't worry. We've got the replay is in your guys' private Facebook group. I think Joey put the link there. And then we also have it loaded up and it's going into your membership area as quickly as possible too. But the easiest way is what Joey just gave you guys right away there as well. So the good thing is if you guys had to miss, again, yesterday's session was awesome. A lot of fun. The feedback from you guys was crazy good. A lot of good questions and answers. And again, we'll do Q&A at the, you can put it in throughout, but definitely at the end, we'll cover a lot for you guys. We've got some really good info to help you. I mean, to recap, yesterday, we kind of set the table in terms of how to think about finding a product to sell on Amazon, everything from the brainstorming to kind of the criteria that we use. Joey gave a great segment around how she went from 0 to 1 million in the 12 months with her products, and particularly kind of dove into the margins and how she set a really good goal that she was trying to make, as she likes her margins big, which is a great approach. So that was great. And so today we're going to go a little deeper. We're going to take that next step around, how we talked about Helium 10, and we know a bunch of guys, I think everyone pretty much is on the tool here, the AMZ product spotter tool. That's the, Helium 10 is helping with this event here. So they gave this little discount here. Of course, I didn't put the URL in there. I just put the thing there, but again, make sure you guys are in the amzproductspotter.com for the tool, because the stuff we're going over today, you want to make sure that you can replicate some of the stuff we're talking about and make it your own. So awesome. And then we're going to do, Joey's got some really cool stuff that we're going to do pretty early on in terms of some of the other methods besides just, kind of the Helium 10 methods. I'll walk through that, but she's going to go through some of the other ways you can do things. And then as well, you can also, we will also go through some AI tools. So the AI tools is really, again, that's the part that's ever changing, very fresh. And I'm going to show you a few tools as well too. So Sal, would there be a replay of yesterday and today? Yes, you're going to have access to both of this. You're going to have Joey, they're going to have access via a membership area pretty soon here as well too, right?
Yes, the video is being edited, and then you'll all have a login to the membership area. The membership area is cool because it'll stay there and you can access it when you want to. And then also you will be able to watch it in the Facebook page for right now. So I'll put the link again to the Facebook page, and because we live stream in there. So yesterday's is in there and today's will stream, and of course tomorrow.
Yeah. And Michaela, saw your question.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you
good
actually,
question.
yeah. So you actually do get this for free, right? We usually charge, anywhere from like up to about $500 for, 3 days of support around our actual strategies. But we are actually doing this. It's the first time we've ever done this for free, but we wanted to bring it to as many of you guys as possible, just because we know this is the area that if we can help you get this right, and, hopefully you guys, if you like what you're doing, if you like, support and kind of learn more, hopefully you guys will want to do more with us. We've got a lot of our community members in here for our direct coaching that we help, daily, one-on-one. And we also do our group meetups throughout the week and live trainings, et cetera. But yeah, this is completely free for you guys. And it's just want to give you guys as much value as well too. As Michaela says, yeah, well, it's nice to see honest people for change who aren't trying to get money out of people.
You're
like
welcome.
me. Yeah. So yeah, I think we mentioned yesterday, there's nothing to buy here. You put your wallets away. It's really about, we want you guys to do this, and hopefully you guys will get good value and be impressed with some of the stuff we do, and that you would want our help too. So it's kind of a simple approach there, but and we have fun. We have fun doing this. It's not just while we're on here with you guys, but also when we're not on here, Joey and I are planning this stuff in the morning, and we're last night and everything else. So we're kind of all in to try to help you guys here.
Yeah.
So any other thoughts? Yeah, go ahead.
On the membership area, if you haven't gotten the email yet to access the membership area, some of you have, check your spam or your promo emails. It might be in there, or there's a lot of people. We got way bigger response than we thought, maybe because this was free and we're just doing it without a cost, but the emails have to trickle out. So it doesn't just go one big email blast. If you haven't gotten your membership email yet, you will, and check your spam and all of that. And by the end of this whole challenge, by tomorrow, we'll get it sorted out. Otherwise, we'll give you a contact to reach out to. So we won't leave you hanging. So just keep waiting for that. But if you want to watch the replays, again, it is in the Facebook group. But we're glad that there's a lot of you who returned today. So we're going to dig in. This is completely great information that we have. So please try to stay all the way to the end.
Love it. Cool. And you guys are a great group. We really love the energy from you guys. We love people chiming in on the Facebook group. So that is fun. We can obviously connect here on Zoom during the trainings with your questions and comments. We love that. But the Facebook group is great because we're all in there in the same way, right? So definitely take advantage of that as well too. So let's just move right into things here. Again, the recap from yesterday was that, and we're not going to go into about Joey and I's kind of story or sales. We kind of went through that, other than we're both experienced and we both are passionate about this. We both do this full time, right? This is all we do. We eat, breathe, and sleep this stuff on Amazon. And, beyond this, there's other places you can listen to. It's free, which is Joey's Fearless Sellers podcast is the #1 ranked Amazon podcast. So make sure you guys subscribe, check it out, the Fearless Sellers podcast. And a bunch of you guys have, and you'll really enjoy that because we have a lot of the top guests in the industry, and Joey is the best in the business at hosting these podcasts. I think you'll enjoy that. So the overview for day 2 is we're going to dive right into things. We're going to talk. If I go from the bottom up, we're going to do AI tools. We've talked a lot about that. All right. We're going to talk about Amazon because everything surrounds at the Amazon.com website, like we talked about yesterday, a good amount. But of course, a lot of these tools overlap. So you're like the Chrome extensions and things, the data, the Helium 10 extension we touched upon a little bit yesterday. Again, it overlays on Amazon.com. We're going to do that. And then we're going to talk about some other tools that really you don't hear about often, or other methods besides the traditional ways or the way a lot of people are doing it. So I think this is really cool too. And, Joey has a lot of unique perspective around this. So yeah, that's really the goals for day 2 here today. And we have tomorrow, we've got one final day, and tomorrow will be a little bit more on the product validation, with your ideas. And we'll talk a little bit about sourcing your product as well too. But we've got an ambitious agenda today to get through. And obviously the AI tools is something that's super hot in the market. And, I think you guys are going to really enjoy that. So again, make sure you guys stay to the end. As you guys said yesterday, we move quick, right? So we're not here for 3 hours with you guys. We're going to go through as much as possible in kind of the hour, maybe hour 15 timeframe, or one more hour from here as well too. Oh yeah. And then Joey put in the chat there, the worksheet, which is great, because that's like the whole point of a challenge is that you all take action, right? So we know this stuff, we're sharing it, which is great. We're happy to do that. Happy to answer questions, but where the magic happens is about what you do, right? That you take an action, that you take steps. And so that's really what it's all about. We're going to not jump in there again. Yesterday, again, we're not really focused on this today. This is more just for a few of you guys. We basically told you guys not to sign up for our strategy sessions unless you're like just chomping at the bit. You're eager, like, hey, I'm all in on this stuff. I want you guys. I want to learn more about if you guys, besides the product stuff, how else you might be able to help me out. Well, for being on here, we are offering for those guys that are serious, these strategy sessions at that link below, that amzinsiders.org/apply. But if you're not there, if you're like not committed into the business yet, don't worry about that. But we just have, and the reason why I say that is because we only have a handful of slots to talk to people. But if it is something that like, hey, I'm really eager, hungry, I know Jamie and Joe have been following you guys, I've gotten to know you guys. If you like and trust us, then let's have a conversation and see if that's mutual. But we'll put that up there. But again, today, you don't need to worry about this. We do have, I know, a few spots left for the week, but again, the goal here is to really help you guys with with your product selection here today. So Nick says, sorry that I switched devices and don't have it again. I don't know, maybe Joey, maybe he just wants you to copy it again down below, which is no problem. But awesome. Yeah, we're super excited. We got a big group on here again. We're approaching close to 1,000 people registered for this live event. That's by far the most we've ever had, which is, we are so pumped to help you guys out. So with that, we're going to jump right in. And I guess if there's a few technical issues on the download, don't worry about it too much. We'll make sure, between Joey and I, we'll make sure we help you guys out, whether it's on here or whether it's post here, or I think I'm going to ask Joey to jump into with some content with you guys right away here to give you guys some tips. And then when I'm jumping into some of the things, she'll probably jump back and help with any other links you guys need. But as I said, finding a product, Joey talked about yesterday that, the big key to her success, where she was doing $200,000 in sales per month by month 4 from starting from zero. A lot of that really has to do with getting the product right. And we talked about yesterday, it's a little bit of an art and a science around finding a product, right? So it's not, we here are the criteria that we like to use, and we're going to go through some of that in Helium 10 here in a moment. But there are so many different ways you can find great products. You want to have kind of a creative mindset with that. And so we thought we would start off with that, some ideas around that. So Joey, do you mind jumping in and talking about some of the other methods that that I think very few people actually are probably familiar with?
Yeah, sure. We can start with all my fun stuff. Etsy, yes. And so yesterday we talked about just how when you're on Amazon and you're shopping, to think about selling. So other sites that people shop on, definitely Etsy. And the reason that I'm bringing up Etsy is because it's a search engine. So it runs off of an algorithm that shows you, very similar to Amazon, what people are actually shopping and searching for. And a lot of these products are not on Amazon yet. Well, I'll just say, I don't know if it's a lot, but many products are not on Amazon yet. I actually have found 2 products on Etsy, and I still use one supplier from, I think, 2021 that I found that's in the Ukraine. So here's kind of the homepage that you're looking at on this slide. And we talked about yesterday that home decor is really popular. So immediately you already, You know what, maybe I'll just share my screen and do a live demo.
Yeah.
Hold on, I'm going to take it from Jamie.
Yeah. So let me stop my share here, I think, right? And
Yeah, here. You know, it always does this where I can't Etsy. Okay, so the screenshot we were looking at was in home and living. So this is one way to just browse, right? You can go in. When I look at this, I'm like, okay, what is a good product? Outdoor and gardening is interesting. Lighting is breakable. So I'm not going to look at lighting. Storage and organization is in the home decor category, and we know that that sells pretty well. So you can drill down further, or you can sort by, I do relevancy because it's going to give you the top searches and things that are actually selling and being searched on Etsy. So let's look in here. And the set of 3 gold floating shelves, those are interesting to me. So I might click on that. This thing is kind of interesting to me as well. So these are product ideas that what I do is like, I just keep clicking on them and I open a bunch of tabs, and then I'll add them to a spreadsheet or a worksheet, and I would take them over to Helium 10 to validate. So this is one way where you're just kind of shopping, right? Like, oh, office organizer, like that's kind of interesting, the earring thing. So this is one way, but another that I like, if you are thinking, okay, actually, you guys, I'll just show you how I found my product. We'll do 2. And then if anybody wants to put something in the chat, like a category they want me to look at, I'm happy to look at that too. If I can figure out how to get back to the chat, or Jamie could tell me. But for mine, like I told you, I sell in women's health, and some of the stuff I sell is fertility. So I put in fertility, and see, this is a search engine already. It came down. Well, fertility reading, I already wrote a book, so I hit that. Gifts, bracelet. Well, crystal bracelets, interesting. But you guys, I came all the way down to statue, and I saw this on Etsy, and this was about a year ago, and it's trending a lot lower now, but it was higher. And I ended up adding a fertility statue that I found on Etsy to my store. And it's not this one that I added, but this one is selling in the top left, or yeah, my left. This one is selling really well. So I reached out to a supplier that I liked after scrolling, and I ordered about 200 from them, and I still sell them today. Now, I had the choice. I could have stayed with this supplier, or I could just take it to China or somewhere else. Okay, I got the chat open. Nick says, kids educational toys. Okay, if you're saying kids educational toys to me, I'm going to think, because I have a 5-year-old. So when I think of kids education, I'm going to think of Montessori, right? Because that's kind of like a style. Okay, so what comes up first? Montessori toys, Montessori bed, bookshelf. Let's just see the trending Montessori toys. And remember, these are trending because this is what people are actually buying and searching, because we have it on relevancy. So Nick, first thing that catches my eye is this toddler balance beam. This product right here, I would definitely take over to Helium 10, put in my workshop. One, it's a really good price point, right? It sells usually around $100. It's on sale for $60. I don't know why it's on sale. So I would look at this. I would also go to Amazon and see if this is selling. And if it is selling on Amazon, what can you do to improve it or add your own flair to it? So I think that's really interesting. These wooden instruments are interesting. I mean, I could just go down this. Ooh, this slicing, because we know kitchen and kids, that kind of combines really good categories. So I think you guys kind of get the idea. And I also advise setting aside several hours for product research. This is something where you want to block off your time. You don't want to do this while you're also teaching your kids stuff. You want to zoom in, like this wave stacking blocks. I don't know, those are kind of interesting to me, and they're also eco-friendly and organic. So that's a kind of a niche product. So yeah. So that kind of goes into the toys. And then this I think was a Montessori product too. How do you put products from Etsy into Helium 10? Yeah, so you have to actually just type it in, right? So you would search with the keywords into here. Let me pull up Amazon. Let's see if sometimes when I'm on Zoom, my Chrome extension doesn't work. But let me see if I can do it. So we'll put in I need to close the chat. Montessori toys. Okay, so we're already seeing Montessori toys is 22,000 in search volume. I find that to be really good. So I would click on that. And this is the Helium 10 extension. And we'll just give it a second. And here's the toys that come up here. So now if we wanted to look at something specific we just saw on Etsy, like that, what was it called? It was like the balancing toddler, it's like balance beam set. Search. If you need the extension to go away, you can just hit search. Oh, look, it's new. So somebody just started selling it and it's got 2 reviews. So right away, what I'm looking at is it's kind of a good product to sell. These are sellers that are Chinese sellers, but it's not exactly the same. So this is kind of just how you validate it. And this is just the basics right off of the extension. And remember, we're looking for a product that we can modify and innovate that we know is selling to make our own. And we'll get into a full Helium 10 demo in a second, but this is kind of off the extension. So here's one that just started selling and it only has 5 reviews. So that is definitely something I would dig in even farther and add to my list. Okay. And then Jamie, are you still with us? I think Jamie was going to do the Helium 10 demo. I don't have the full pulled up. Or you want me to keep going on other stuff?
I think you just keep going because I'm going to combine, we're doing Helium 10 today and tomorrow, but we're also going to dive into the AI stuff. So, this is great. So I just say, keep it rolling. Then we're going to go into the Helium 10 stuff a little bit afterwards.
Okay, cool. So another trending site that I like to look for product ideas is Pinterest. So for Pinterest, just type in trends.pinterest.com. And hopefully I had to pull my screen down a little because of the chat. And here, this is just pulling my pin. So if you have your account, ignore that. But where I go is down here where first this panel here, top trends in the United States this month. Something about Pinterest. This is also a search engine and they pride themselves on being ahead of trends. So things like festival outfits and summer nails have been trending for, if you can see, it says the last 30 days, because Pinterest is known to be 60 to 90 days ahead. So if you want to get ahead, like what is probably going to sell well for the holidays for Q4, you can also dig in is festival outfits, self-care, spring meals, which is funny because we're going into summer nails, blob mirrors trending. And don't click on anything with mirrors if you're a new seller because shipping a mirror is not a good idea. I like when I see things like dinner recipes because that makes me think of kitchen gadgets and what you need to cook dinner, and especially year round. So if it's like summer dinner recipes inside and out, so any type of like kitchen cooking stuff. So those are the trends, but here's where it gets really fun. You dig. So those same trends are down here and it's summer nails, not interesting. Festival is up 60% for festival season. And when I think of festival, I'm thinking handbags, maybe like trendy straps for handbags or clear plastic handbags or things that go along with festival gear. Father's Day gifts, that was my big thing that I was into is my product. If you were listening yesterday, had to be everywhere for Father's Day. So I made sure to rank, and that means I would market it on Pinterest as well. Home and outdoor. All right, this is a good one because we know home decor sells well and outdoor sells pretty well. So I clicked on that, and you can kind of go through what is actually selling, and you can kind of drill down into there. But something else. Okay, here's what I wanted to show you. So on the left side, we'll get a little deeper. You can go into interests. So if anybody, we'll just stick with home decor. I was tempted to click gardening. I guess I could do both, but home decor, there's those mirrors again, stay away. So home and outdoor, that's very interesting. So when I see home and outdoor, I'm going to see what people are looking at on Pinterest, but I'm also going to make a note for when you go into Helium 10 as a category to look at. And then cheap pool deck ideas. Well, that's really interesting. Let's see what that is. Those are, oh, that's like actual, like how to build a pool deck. Okay, but then if that's trending of like how to build an outdoor pool deck, you might want to come up with things that go along with above ground pools. I don't know. You have to kind of relate products to it. And then going back, camper makeover ideas. So that's very interesting to me because that's a small space, might be easy things to ship, and it's kind of a trending, innovative product. So looking in here, like just looking at this is like inside of a camper, and I see a magnetic piece that goes onto the inside of a camper where you can stick your knives and your forks. So that's interesting. 21 stunning RVs. I would dig into that, like what is cool and trendy for RVs, because that's a very niche category. So you'd want to target all the outdoor people or people buying RVs. And I love categories like that, like outdoors, camping, RVs, small houses, all of that are pretty niche. So it's kind of going down the rabbit hole in Pinterest, but you can go back and you can change your category. Like if we wanted to go into, I don't know, they put animals, but I was kind of thinking more of pets. I do see this trend coming up way more in the last year is loss of a pet, like memorializing a pet. And remember, that's still in the pet category, so those are good. But yeah, so you kind of get the ideas. You get your ideas. You can drill into all different types of categories, and you just pull it out and keep putting these on lists and taking it over to Amazon, like we did here with the Montessori, and digging in. So these are the 3 sites that I really like to do my product research on, is Amazon, Pinterest, and Etsy. And then I'll definitely do traditional product research in Helium 10 as well, which we'll show. And then I just want to show, since we're here, I can just show, like I also sell IVF stuff for anybody who knows what that is. So I'll just put in like the keyword of what I sell, and it just starts populating ideas. And so to me, knowing that my main keyword that I want to sell is IVF, it's like I should be selling all of these: socks, medical organizer, a shirt, gifts for women, organizer, and a journal. And y'all can guess if I sell all that stuff or not. I'll leave that as a mystery. I'm sure you all know the answer. All right, well, I'll close this. Any questions on this before I kick it back over to Jamie? Awesome. I hope you all are digging in and looking at Etsy and Pinterest right now. Jamie, you're on mute.
So yeah, so it's a cool, unique, different way, right? So, you want to have kind of different tools in the toolbox, so to speak. And, Etsy and Pinterest are ones that you won't see a lot around it. So I think that's really, really cool. So thank you, Joey, for sharing that. That is really helpful. So I see a few questions on it. What about prices on Etsy? Is
Yeah,
that
good question
reliable?
on the prices. That's a really good question. I'm glad you asked that. So, yeah, that's the retail price, right? So when I see those prices, I'm like, hey, that's cool. I could sell it for that, little higher, little less on Amazon. And you're going to reach out to the supplier and they will be thrilled that you want to buy more than one from them. So when my first order from my supplier, I ordered a couple samples first, but I told them, I want to order the samples because I plan to order, 50 or 200 from you, and then they'll give you a much better deal. And you do first want to ask them, are they already selling on Amazon, or is anybody selling their stuff on Amazon? Yeah. And then we talked about price. What about search volume? Yeah. Anything above 5,000 for search volume on the keywords, I think is really good. Everyone kind of has their own comfort of a sweet spot. I really like 20,000 to 30,000 for me. Who's the supplier? Yeah, it's the specifically on Etsy. If you're reaching out, it's that person selling on Etsy. Yeah. So there's a way when you have your Etsy account that you just message and send them a message. Yeah. So asking about selling on Amazon, I'll introduce myself to the person selling on Etsy and say, hey, I really love your products. I'd like to order a couple of them. I am an Amazon seller. Do you know if anybody is selling your products on Amazon yet? And every time I have asked that, I have gotten a no. And I currently sell I sell one product that has 3 different variations from Etsy. And then I sell another product that has 2 variations. So I guess that's like, I sell 5 products from Etsy right now. And when I say I'm selling them from Etsy, it's like I found them on Etsy. I buy them through my contact on Etsy and sell them on Amazon. For Pinterest, it's different. For Pinterest,
Actually, Joe, do you mind just reading the question just in case people aren't looking at the chat?
Oh, sorry. Yeah. How do you find the supplier of the products that you find on Etsy or Pinterest? So Etsy, I go directly to message the person selling it on Etsy and talk to them. For Pinterest, those are just pins and ideas. So for that, I would go to probably start with Alibaba, or a Google search is always a great way to start also. Nick says, would you stay away from products that have high demand, high competition rating from Helium 10? It really depends on the product. But I'm inclined, if it's a yes or no question, to say, yeah, I'd stay away from it. But the reason I would dig in further is because often there are keywords that you can win on. And I think we'll dig into that a little bit later. But when you are thinking about winning and high demand, you have to think in keywords more than the product, like the keywords people put in to find your product.
Yeah, and I would just add to that one. Also depends on each seller. So if you're looking to go into, and we touched upon this a little bit yesterday, things that are highly competitive, like, I said, we huge in the cell phone accessory space. If you want to go into that space, to Joey's point, you can find niches or opportunities with certain keywords. But it also depends, like if you have a lot of capital or maybe bring a business partner and you can go, it depends how much capital you want to spend, right? So the high demand, there's more opportunity in terms of revenue. So if you want to sell the massage gun or, certain supplement categories, then it's going to cost more to get in, but the upside is a lot more too. So it kind of depends what your own budget is, in terms of where you want to go. Same thing applies even for medium competition, or if you're really tight, you may have to start with kind of low competition and low competitive keywords as well. Yeah, Shabazz, the keyword, how do you judge search volume against available sellers? So we'll go in a little bit. Some of that we'll cover today. Some of it we'll dig in deeper tomorrow around when we do the product validation a little bit. But so part of it too, I mean, you can use the tools. We'll show some of the stuff, but as you get into it more, you also get a feel for your product and category of kind of what the keywords, the volume is. So like, just because you're going to be looking at it a lot during the course of a week and you're selling. So you get a sense like, hey, for this product, there's one main keyword that has like 30,000 searches a month. And then there's these other, there's a few other keywords that are maybe a little longer tail that are 5,000. And then there's a bunch that are like, 1,000 to 500 searches per month. And so, you can kind of see where you can target those keywords to work your rank up. So cool. Joey, any final thoughts before we move on to some of the rest here?
No, I think it'll all make a lot more sense when we continue going, like what you actually do with these ideas you have.
Awesome. Very cool. So, all right, cool. Well, that was great. Again, hopefully you guys took some notes, capture it, take some screenshots around some of the stuff, or just hold up your phone and take a photo as well too here. Just like grab your photo. Boom. There you go. Joey, say cheese. There you go. So
I'm taking a picture right now too.
She might be up on social media. Who knows? Make sure you guys are following. You guys can follow Joey on Instagram, right? What's your Instagram, Joey?
Yeah, follow me. Send me a message. I'll put it in there. It's
right.
joeyroberts.official.
Yeah. So cool. You can direct message her. See if you got any follow-up questions too, in all seriousness. So, all right, well, let's keep moving. So that was awesome. Again, with the Pinterest and Etsy, we're going to talk AI in a moment here. We'll set the tone. Again, most of you guys, I'm sure, are familiar with ChatGPT. Before we do that, let's just jump over to, let me jump over to Chrome here with, let me get with my 20 million tabs open here. And I want to share my screen in just a second here. Let me just pull up 10 and all right. Let me do the share screen thing here. And here we go. So we're over here using, use the Chrome browser. I'm on a MacBook, so I use Safari for a lot of stuff. But when I'm dealing with Amazon, when I'm dealing with Chrome extensions, of course, you got to be over in Google Chrome. So I'm over there. Again, for all of you guys that have your logins to Helium 10 here, hopefully you guys started digging into it. I think we put the link in there again. I put it up when Joey was talking. She was using it to the AMZproductspotter.com there. It gets you your discount. What's cool about it is, the tools, again, we're talking product research here, keyword research. I'll show you some stuff on there. That's really cool. And then there's so much, right? Everything from your listing optimization to, marketing. There's some really cool tools. Other things like your refunds, to get refunds, to help you with your inventory, email follow-up, on. So they really do have, everything covered really, really well here with the tool. Specifically, you're going to be starting off with things like Blackbox and around here. So there, if you go to Profits 2, there's a whole nother set of tools here. Again, if you connect your seller account to it, it can help you with your basically profitability tracking there, let alone some of these other things. There's also some really cool market tracker tools, which gives you some really good comparisons and analysis on your competition and seeing how it's going. So let's come back to our tools here. And again, maybe Joey, I don't know if Joey, if you can just recopy in the link there. I think all of you guys have the tool here, but if you don't, again, use it. I recommend, even if you don't keep it for a long time, get it for at least a month. And you can just get like the basic plan. You don't need to sign up for like the elite plan or the diamond plan. Just get the basic plan. And you'll get so much in the course of a month, right? When we were first starting on Amazon, these tools didn't exist. All right. Helium 10 is only around for about the last 5 years. and it's grown a lot. And so now you can see it's why, you don't need to go get 50 different tools, but again, it's not my tool. So it's, but it's what we use and recommend, obviously. So anyway, so to the point of Black Box. So Black Box, I like the ability to do something. They basically have two ways for your searches. You can do the simple and advanced search, right? So the advanced search, you can get more granular on your criteria. And again, there is a bit of an art and a science to it around things. We go to the keyword research area. You can drop in keywords that you want included. You can do the search by have it come back to you with products, which is a good way. I also like to do researches by, if you guys remember yesterday, if you were with us yesterday, I talked about that we're really looking for keyword opportunities as well too. So again, you can click on this and it'll get you keyword opportunities as well too. So let's say we do keywords and we want search volume of 5,000, of at least 5,000. Let's say 5,000 to 30,000. We want monthly revenue of at least 15,000. I said yesterday, up to 100,000. Let's go. And we want a minimum price of at least $25, and we'll keep it between 25 and $100. All right. Review count, which is how competitive it is. Again, the more things you put in here, the more you're going to kind of constrict the areas or the output. So just keep that in mind. And right now we're just doing keywords. So let's say the max keywords, we don't want it like over 1,000. Anything less we don't care about. So there you have it right there. And then we come down and let's see if again, sometimes when you're on Zoom, it's going to have a little harder time to crunch the numbers here, but let's see if I can get it to go here. All right, here we go. So and again, I didn't pick a category here too. So let's pick I like to, whenever you're doing this, pick a category. Yesterday, I showed you some of the top categories, right, that the investors like to buy. If you guys remember that, pet supplies was one of them. So let's obviously you can things that you're interested in, things that you think you may have some insight about as well too. So here's some keywords, right? Litter robot liner bags. Monthly revenue is around 25,000. Horsefly spray, Nulu cat food, chew-proof dog bed, around 40,000. Right, the reviews, you can check the reviews. Obviously, as the review goes up, it gets more competitive. Here's one, dog ramp for bed. All right, so interesting. So what I like to do is basically go through here and find opportunities. These are again keywords, right? And you can see for like dog ramp for bed. We can see that the, let me get back to our search volume here, and they should make it so you can just scroll down and see it all. So the average search volume is around 8,000 searches per month. So your price, the average size is about 60,000 a month. So it's 720,000, right? 350. So that's pretty serious, right? So if I take a look, meaning like the sales are pretty good around this. And if I pop over to, again, with all my tabs here, let me add up. Let me open a 20th tab here. And so what I'll do, I'll just take a keyword there and I will enter it in here. And you get all this data. This is the beauty of that amzproductspotter.com tool. I mean, look at this, just for typing the keyword, look at all of the data it's giving me, related keywords right here in the middle, keywords after. So dog ramp for bed, dog ramp for bed, small, it just adds them there. It's incredible the amount of data that Helium 10 will give you. It will give you trend information. And again, I'm not saying this is a good product or not a good product point, but we're just taking a look at it, right? Here's these pretty cute little ramps. And it's like, do you want your dog on the bed? I feel like a lot of them can find their way on the bed, but if you want to make it super cozy for your dog, here you go. And then, so this Chrome extension, you simply just hit it right here. And this is going to analyze the page here. So X-ray, Again, you can do this analysis for keywords or product research, just like Joey was talking. So anything you take, let's say through Etsy or through Pinterest, right? Once you get those keywords or the products, if it's the individual product, you just, go grab out of the headline the main keyword that people would search for the product, and then put it in Amazon, and then analyze it through Helium 10 here through the Chrome extension. So we go product research for dog, ramp for bed. And here we go. So this is, the revenue is really good. Have under 75 reviews. So if you look at the review count, then you can drag these columns over. So I like to put the revenue, let me put this back here. So I love to see the review count. So this guy's has 91 reviews and is doing 111,000 a month. All right. So that's right. So there you go. There's $1 million plus product at 91 reviews. That's not that many reviews. 83 reviews. Again, about 80,000 a month is right around the $1 million, 7-figure business. One product, right? This doesn't include the other products, right? And once you have kind of your product ready to go, you can find the other products, or we just saw when Joey was demoing, looking at other ideas on Etsy and Pinterest and seeing things that trend. But pretty crazy, right? Like here's another, again, basically call these $1 million products, right? You guys are only one product away from $1 million business. You can see 143 reviews. All right. It's good, not, these products are good, not amazing. So I like this stuff. It's interesting. Now, as we talk about tomorrow, I'd be like, all right, well, how can we make this not just like a Me Too element, or how can I make this good? So let's go with the assumption that, all right, this is interesting to us. It looks pretty good. I mean, again, 42 reviews, 60,000, 42 reviews. So, I get excited when I see things that are like under 200 reviews, and we can, and they're selling for, they're doing over 40,000 a month. That's again, $500,000, right? If you're doing $500,000 on one product per year, and then you get a few other products, right? Then you're like, all right, we're in the ballpark of, you become a 7-figure seller before long. That's how it's done, right? You get a few of these products. Cool. I like, there we go. Entry. So interesting. And then so the sales graph too. So it's interesting to see like, all right, this guy is doing 210,000 a month. Let's see, what does this look like? Let's see the 1 year sales rate. So, and again, this may be specific to them too, because this is them. Maybe they just started selling. They haven't been selling. Well, let me see. They haven't been selling this product. So this seller's relatively, hasn't been around forever. Actually, let's go to the review count. Let's see these guys here and analyze it and see. Right, July. There we go, and they're down a little bit. So you can really get the sense. You can see the review growth. It's been steady. So they've been steadily growing. The review rating's been staying. So you can easily compare all of these guys and see where you fit. Like this guy doing 91 reviews. Again, you see they're up on the up and up here for the last, 90 days. They keep growing. And their review count is growing very nicely. Right. So this could be you guys about, from month 0 to month 4, you start growing, and it gets really interesting quickly. So that is a cool one for this. I'm going to tie this into later. So let me grab this ASIN. So this has 12,000 reviews. So let me grab this. Let me come down. There's all the data on it. Product description. Here it is. I'm going to grab this ASIN here, and let me see if we can tie this into our AI analysis we'll do here in a moment. All right. So let me dog, and we'll come back to that. And let me pull the URL as well too. So we'll go. So you can see quickly how you can kind of go down the rabbit hole, and what, we talked about, that you need to put some time. And Joey said, hey, product research takes some time, right? Because you got to go down a little bit of a rabbit hole. It's pretty easy with these tools to go in and say, wow, is there a good amount of sales without a crazy number of reviews? What do I think of the product? And then it's like, okay, what would I start thinking? How would I differentiate my product? And what, how can I go about doing that? All right. So we'll go into Helium 10 more in greater depth, but understand this is a quick look. Again, you can do analysis based on product, keywords. You can do other ones too. I usually do one of the first two is products and competitors. All right. So if you do products, it's just going to give you, I love doing the keywords because then you can just search, see what the opportunity are for keywords. And a lot of people only think of researching by product. Let's see here. I see some questions. We'll make sure we go through it as well. Yeah, Debbie know these products.
I answered most of them.
Yep. Okay. Awesome. Great. Thank you. So, and we'll recap some of the stuff towards the end, but we'll make sure on time. So again, so that is this tool here. You go in, while we're here, one of my all-time favorite tools from Helium 10, probably the thing that maybe made Helium 10 the most popular, is this Cerebro tool. So if I grab so you can grab any competitor. In this case, we were just looking at these dog things. You just put in the ASIN, you can put in the ASINs, everything. And essentially it's trying to pull what are the keywords of the competitors. So, keywords are a little bit, are they for products, for product selection? Are they for product optimization, right? Is it for, strategizing how to scale your business? And the answer is yes, yes, and yes. It's for all of these things, right? So keywords are for a lot of purposes, but you can get really good insight. Basically, it does kind of like this reverse ASIN lookup. So it kind of looks at it and it starts analyzing your competition on where they rank for these keywords and the search volume. So they'll show you like, let me get right here. Again, we're not going to do a total deep dive on, but see our estimated number of units that need to be sold over 8 days. So this is what, again, made this tool kind of really popular initially. It says basically if the CPR was basically tells you how many units you need to sell per day over a period of about a week for you to start showing up onto page, the top half of page 1, right? And so why this is important though is, again, going back to what Joey was showing is, how competitive are keywords and which keywords can you knock off? To the question earlier, if something's like really competitive, like there's, it's high demand, high competition, can you compete for it? Joey mentioned, well, sometimes there's certain keywords you can. And so you could say, well, okay, so 9, 8, that's not a crazy number of units. It is a decent number, but and again, depending on how expensive the product is and everything, but we used to do this by search, find, buy, which was a strategy that you could drive aggressively to basically rank your product really quickly. But you can still run things like Google ads and Facebook ads to drive people to basically based on a keyword for you guys to rank. So it is, but this Cerebro tool is really powerful as well too. And again, the point of today isn't to give a demo for necessarily for Helium 10. It's more about how you can use this for yourself to benefit from it. So really, black box, Cerebro, I love, anything, obviously this magnet is really easy too. So you just take the keyword. So if we were saying, I think Joey earlier had the toddler balance beam, right? That she found on, was that Etsy? Then you can plug it in here. And if I can, all these screens, here we go. It has funny little names, right? So magnets, like it's a magnet, it's going to attract all of the other keywords. So toddler balance beam, and then gymnastics beam for home under $30, balance toys, Montessori furniture, et cetera. And so you can get all this data for other keywords that are related. So this is part of the product research process that you want to do so that you can make sure you can understand the opportunities. So we love products where there's multiple keywords that have decent search volume, because if there's only one phrase that people use to get things, then you kind of have to win that one keyword. But there's lots of them. I call it each keyword's like its own battle that you can compete for over time and grow and grow and grow over time. So Joey, I'll pause there too. Is there anything else just around keywords or anything else you want to share? I know you're firing away probably in the chat, helping people out there, but just I'll pause for a second before moving on.
Yeah, sure. We can answer. Michaela had a question. Would you sell larger products if the profit was good rather than small and light? Yeah, absolutely. I've sold big products that weighed over 20 pounds and the box was big, and I just figured out, on the pallet. But that is where you do get into needing, well, for me, I really needed to sell something that was retailing definitely over $100 or higher. So I would think that way, because when it gets heavier and bigger, your fees are more, and your storage fees. And then this is not a conversation for right now, but this comes in where we do coaching one-on-one, is sometimes you can work it out where you do FBM, which means it's fulfilled by a merchant for those products instead of fulfilled by Amazon. But that all comes with looking at data and like running your numbers. So yeah, really, really good question. I personally don't rule things out right away, just if they're large.
Yeah, and I'll add to that is, yeah, it's the beauty of this business is you can kind of pick your lane or pick your approach. And a lot of times, if you want to be, kind of zig when everyone else is zagging, you can do really well. And so I know people, that just focus on big, heavy products, right? Because why? Because most people are looking for like small and light products. Right. So there's more competition there. Now, is there uniqueness? As Joey mentioned, of course, you've got to solve for, how to manage the costs and the fees to make the profit work. But if you can do really well. Like I know people that do, for example, patio furniture, right? Patio furniture is not the easiest thing to sell, right? It's big. I used to, back in my Home Depot days, patio furniture, I knew it was also a very profitable category. And it's in demand, of course, especially in the spring, that people are always looking to get new furniture. But so if you can solve the dynamic, but it's big and it's not necessarily always heavy, sometimes it can be light, but it's big and clunky. So, sometimes you may, as Joey said, you may have a 3PL. So someone else who manages the delivery of it, or you can potentially take it on yourself. And most people, the beauty now is you can leverage, instead of Amazon, you can also use a third-party logistics company to make the math work. So yeah, great question. And I'm going to do some AI stuff. We're going to jump into that in a moment and kind of tie this together. But let's see here.
Yeah.
So I'll just, go ahead.
I can answer William's question. It says, in your listing, do you put the highest ranking keyword first, then the other keywords in declining search order? So in your listing, that means your product page, when you're writing your listing for your product, the first, it's like 120 characters is what matters. So you want to write your title and write your description of bullet points like you're inviting somebody into your store to sell to them. So you have to think of it that way. But then, yes, you want your keywords, if it's your whatever top 5-10 keywords in the first 120 characters. It doesn't necessarily have to be your exact first word. Your first word in your title, I think, for terms of service, is still supposed to be your brand name.
Yeah, good stuff. Good questions. And we like to try to get the title, get it set right, early on. The beautiful thing is we talk about some of the AI tools. We'll show some of that. It is a super ability. So and asking if, and again, a few people are asking for the link for the product spotter. Again, the tools we're going over. So that's right there. Yes, you guys will have access to this. I'm about to jump into the really cool stuff with AI as well too, to show you guys, but you guys will have this in your membership area. We are live streaming in the Facebook group. So make sure you're there. And again, make sure you, even if you just get it for 1 month, invest in yourself. It's not a lot of money. It's not our software, but you can see you'll learn a ton going through this. It's one thing for us to tell you guys about it and describe it and show it on the screen. It's another thing for you to have it up in front of yourself and take action to use the tool as well too. So, all right, cool. I'm not going to really say pivot because we're just going to the next level around leveraging some AI around this. So and we can go, we can literally go for days, and we're going to do some more stuff with Helium 10 tomorrow. We also, in our training area for our coaching program, we go really deep. We bring in experts from Helium 10 to go in specific things here. But our point today is to give you guys an understanding of where it's at, and to make sure we show you some of the latest new tools as well too. So yeah, we can always go as deep and as long as you guys want to around how to leverage this. And that's what we do in the coaching program. We help people kind of really validate their ideas. We do Zoom calls with people. We help them with their keyword research. All these things is what we do with all of those that we help kind of build these things with us. And that was again, that's by the application only as well too. So with that, all right, let me pull back to I'm actually keeping track of all these things. It's actually going pretty well here. All right, good. Well, hopefully you guys, this stuff is good. We've done the Etsy, the Pinterest. We showed you. I mean, again, I just picked that. I did that search live with you guys. I had those dog stares. I did not pre-do that at all. I literally just picked an example to walk through, and wow, right there in a matter of minutes, I was like, this is pretty interesting, right? The next step would be, hey, how could I make this product unique? How can we make it different? And we'll talk about that here today in a few minutes using some of the AI tools, right? So I'm pretty excited about that as well too. So with that, let's jump in. Let's start with a question to all of you guys, because we're not going to spend a lot of time on ChatGPT, even though it's earth shattering. It's amazing. We're going to spend some time with it, but if you guys have used ChatGPT, put a 1 in the chat for me, please. And if you have not ever used it yet, put a 2, right? So Sam, of course, 1, 1, 1. I need a 2. We got some 2s in here. Okay, cool. Some 1s. Joey's a 1. Boosie, William, 2. All right, cool. Rufino, Jax. So 1, 1, 1. Anand, of course, you're probably helping write some of the stuff here. Let's see here. Debbie, 1. Yeah, Amy, yep, 2. Dave, 2. So awesome. All right, good. So that will make it worthwhile just setting the table. ChatGPT, what is ChatGPT? It's essentially a website with a game-changing engine behind it. I like to think of it, it's basically like you're a genie in a bottle. They're waiting for you to take care of every wish that you command it to provide for it. So really powerful, game-changing. It launched last November, the 3.0 version, and it's the first site. It used to be a big deal if you got to 1 million users, would be incredible. It went from 0 to 100 million users in the first month, and basically by word of mouth once people saw this thing, right? So it's a game changer. Since then, the whole AI explosion is come about because of the powerful of this tool and the accessibility. So ChatGPT 3.5 is completely free, so all of you guys can use it for free. The new ChatGPT, the 4.0, which came out a couple months ago, is even more powerful. That's $20 a month. $20 a month. I think if you're an entrepreneur or looking to build a business, it's worth it. It's it's faster, it has more current data, but it's really powerful. So basically, again, you can do anything you want with it, and it will write things. It can do anything. So if I say create a title of a presentation to give to Amazon sellers at an in-person event, teach them how to leverage AI with not only ChatGPT, but several other AI tools as well, boom, it's going to come back with the title, right? If I say write the presentation to do this product challenge, write out the outline of all the slides, it's going to do that. So it is incredibly powerful for you guys to use. What I say is AI is what I call, this is a last to first to last opportunity, which is if you are newer to selling, like a lot of you guys are newer to selling, and you guys are integrating these tools in AI, integrating to the extent that it's useful, not just for the sake of the buzzword AI, but tangible methods, you're doing this stuff. You can literally leapfrog a lot of existing sellers and people that have been doing this for a while. And vice versa, if you're an experienced seller, experienced entrepreneur, your business, and you're not paying attention to this stuff, you're going to get passed by a lot of people like you that are going to implement this stuff. So it's a game-changing opportunity. So a few specific ways. Again, this is just overview here. Product optimization, advertising, customer engagement, niche identification, data analysis. So niche identification fits kind of what we're talking here in terms of product selection. So ChatGPT can help sellers identify profitable product niches on Amazon by analyzing market trends and competitor data, right? Like literally your wish is its command. And so you just ask it to analyze a certain market, a certain product, and it will do so. And we'll do a couple quick examples. Again, we could literally do this for hours and hours. And we do actually have a mastermind separately for around AI. But again, with our program, we actually implemented this into our weekly live trainings for our coaching members. We do AI updates periodically as well too. So again, crazy powerful. Here's prompts. You may want to take a screenshot of it. Again, we'll give you guys this stuff, but literally, so the key with, and I'll pull up ChatGPT. We'll do it live here in a second, but the key with ChatGPT is about what you prompt it, right? It's all about the prompting, right? So it's just like on Amazon, if you search for a product, it's all about the search bar, right? Well, on ChatGPT, it's all about what you ask it to do, right? Because if you can ask it to do it, whatever you ask it to do, it's going to do it. And if you can ask it to do it in a better way than someone else, you'll have an advantage over other people, right? So here's 20 prompts, right? You can literally copy and paste these into ChatGPT and it will start giving you answers, right? What techniques can ChatGPT recommend for maximizing profitability on Amazon? How can Chat recommend the accuracy of Amazon product listings? How can I increase my sales on Amazon through email marketing? So can ChatGPT provide recommendations on how to effectively use Amazon's bestseller rank? Like you have like the master, right, of knowledge right here simply by asking the right questions. And a lot of times the challenge now is you think, well, you can't really think. You're not used to thinking of everything that you should ask it, right? So yeah, Sam says amazing, right? So yeah, here's 20 right here. And literally I have hundreds, but this is literally, you guys can just do this and copy and paste it today. And it was good. It was funny when we were teaching this first, I was like, you know, my one son, they're in high school and they've been using it for their homework and everything else. But I said, yeah, the challenge is about what to prompt it. And they said, well, why don't you just ask it what to ask it? I'm like, okay, yeah, you're right. You can just kind of go back that role, but the key is to make it productive for what we're trying to do, like find a winning product, right? We want to do that and use it for that purposes. We just talked about Helium 10, right? Again, why it's great. You can leverage it for ideas, right? By asking it these questions, and then you can go in and then validate products and get data through Helium 10. So one thing to keep in mind for you guys, some of you guys even haven't used the chat tool at all, the ChatGPT at all. Some of you have, but understand it doesn't replace Amazon because it has incredible power. It helps you do things 100 times faster than you could before. It helps generate ideas. You could have someone else do this for you. You could have a virtual assistant come up with ideas for you. What it doesn't have access kind of yet to the actual back end of the Amazon data. So things like Helium 10 does have that access because it's called the API access. It's like the pipe of data that Amazon allows third parties to access. So that's the one thing it doesn't. So that's why we like to use it in combination, right? So to get this great inspiration and ideas, market analysis, understanding, incredible detail around things, but then go into Helium 10, combine it. That's why, I say Helium 10 plus ChatGPT, right? What type of person is interested in this type of product, right? So you can really kind of understand your customer avatar. And that's something a lot of times as Amazon sellers, we're not great at. We just kind of go into what's selling on Amazon, but we can't really understand who the customer is. And if you can do that, you have such a huge advantage both on your product development as well too. I'm not going to go into this as much today, but we talk, Joey and I, we help people rank their products a lot. Content creation, driving outside traffic is massive. So anything with that is a game changer. The ability to create this. If you guys follow Joey and I on social media at all, you'll see us on Instagram, you'll see us on LinkedIn, you'll see us on Facebook, TikTok, YouTube shorts. Well, a lot of that is actually behind the scenes. We're actually leveraging these kind of AI techniques to find out which topics we're going to actually do content on, right? So we're not reinventing, sitting down there brainstorming. We're able to move so much quicker around all these decisions around too. So this was one of our awesome coaches, Matt, who does a lot of the one-on-ones with you guys in our coaching program here. Someone was having trouble with a product that was incorrectly suspended. We talked about this topic here, and then he messaged me this out of his WhatsApp. This message say, amazing. He basically said, prompt, write an email to Amazon Seller Central to reinstate a product that was incorrectly suspended. Boom. It gave like a really well written thing. You just copied and pasted it. Off you go. So all aspects of your Amazon business are so much easier. So again, in a moment, I'm going to pop over to ChatGPT. Again, because I want to get you as much value as quickly as possible here. We're going to go kind of quick, I'll say today, but I'm happy to go as deep as you guys want in our, again, program. We can go for you hours and hours, but I just want to make sure you have the info here. And I want to show you specifically a tool around product selection here in a moment. A couple other ones, Midjourney. Midjourney is the ChatGPT, but for creating images, really powerful. When it comes to product selection, what I love to do is you can go in and there's tools to help you with the prompt for Midjourney. So what to ask it. So you can basically use these tools to make it easy. But I love to take products and go, okay, so let's say those dog stairs we just looked at, right? Like what would be a really cool design? Well, ask Midjourney to design like a really fancy, luxurious dog stairs, right? Or whatever your product is. I basically asked Midjourney to create like the world's most luxurious massage gun, right? We're looking at massage guns yesterday, and this is what it designed, right? And like, that's kind of wild. There's nothing looking like that. So instead of spending, thousands of dollars to these product development companies to come up with these potential ideas for you, you can literally do this in, minutes. It will come up and it'll generate these ideas, and you come up one after the next. Just keep asking it to regenerate, and things that you find interesting, go, okay, let's see if we can bring this product to reality. So that is a really cool thing you can do with Midjourney for products. This is a game-changing tool as well. This is called, let me see if I can actually, let me pull back up. It's blocking it on my screen, but it is the AI PRM extension here is super powerful. This is a Chrome extension, and what it does is it basically writes the prompts for you. So you don't have to do the prompts. I just said the prompts are the key to everything. Well, they basically crowdsource these prompts. So let's say you want to write, look at this first one, write a complete book in one click. Right? Write a complete book in one click. 3.5 thousand people have upclicked it, 466,000 comments. This is really small. You might not be able to read this. And right there. So all you can do is click this one. It will give you at the bottom. Then you just enter in, it will ask you a few things like, what is the topic of your book? How long do you want the book to be? And it'll just go to town on it. Right. So this tool is really cool. There's all sorts of different ways you can do it. There's not endless Amazon ones in there yet, but you'll see more of those. But it's just is a really easy way. And this topic is copywriting. You can switch the topic to anything, but it's completely free. The AI PRM Chrome extension. So that's a game changer I recommend for you guys as well too. Amy has a good question. Is AI created as not real? No. So what's unique about it is the AI created images. They are actual, they're not copyrighted, right? They're not copies of someone else's work. So they are uniquely created, both the copy and the images. So they are yours. The question is, the reality is, no, it's totally fine. I mean, there's been 3D created images for the last several years, but you can create lifestyle photos, create, people, basically an avatar for your customer, or sorry, an avatar for your product. And they're very lifelike, kind of undetectable around it. And there's, as long as it represents what you're trying to do, it's no problem at all, but it's kind of wild what you can do with it. And there's more and more tools coming up to make this even easier and easier for you guys. This Future Tools is just a site. It has all of the AI tools in there. They're constantly updating it. You can go to Future Tools and just, and stay up to click the different categories to see what you want there. I like Otter is a great way too. If you're creating long form content, let's say for your product, you see like a really great video on YouTube about the product, or you see something on TikTok about it's similar, and you're like, oh, I'd love to create content like that. You basically, there's tools you can take that, and Otter will just transcribe what that content is. You can put it into AI or into ChatGPT, say, rewrite this, but make it 3 times better. right? And make it 3 times better. It will give you a new script that's unique, different, same topic as what this viral video was. And then you or someone else can create these topic. What's crazy is if I come up, that's Opus is great too. Oh, do I have it? There's these tools. There's other tools that you can then load the scripts in, and then an AI generated like person and voice will actually record the video. So you don't even have to do it. That's where this stuff is going. I'm going to skip to Opus is great. Same thing. Any long form content you do, you can chop into little short videos like in the period of a minute. So if you did a long content on the topic or your product, again, you can easily create all these nice little videos that go on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube Shorts, etc. All right, so I went fast and furious. Those are kind of just like, hey, I want you guys to be aware of those, to know for you. This one's specific for Amazon, so we'll hit you guys with this one. Again, none of these are my tool; they're not our tool, but they are really cool things you can do with this. So this Shoelix is one that's pretty great. There's a free trial for it's a pretty short period of time for like a day. But they have a Chrome extension and so it boosts your business, the #1 ChatGPT tool. And it really, what you can really do, it will analyze reviews really easily. Just do a couple little live things quickly. And then I'm happy to do Q&A. Joey and I will come back on here, but we want to make sure you guys, we get you guys a little bit of a live demo. So let me see if I can share over to my screen. Nope, let me stop there again. I think I shared that was the desktop PowerPoint. I want the Chrome. Okay, here we go. Yeah, I've got to pull it down a little bit as well too. Let me see if I can get to Z. All right, so I'm going to go to, let's see if I can analyze. We did the analysis of one of these tools. This was massage guns. Where else did we go? So let's do that. I want to see if I can find that. I think is over here. The dog. All right. Yeah. Let's see if we can do this live. So we just did this like dog ramp thing, right? How many reviews? Oh, okay. It has a ton of reviews. So let's see if I got this Shoelix thing here. I think this is Shoelix. Of course, my Chrome extension there is going. Let's see here. Let me try this. Analyze this listing. Analyze the reviews on this listing. And summarize the negative comments and the way I can make improvements. Let me see here. Let's try this out. Oh yeah. Sorry. Let me get I got to get the link to it. Let's see if I put the link in there.
So cool.
All right. So this is pretty cool, right, Joey?
Yeah, this is so cool. This saves hours.
Yeah, so going to product. So, so right now, some customers reported that the product is not durable and breaks easily. A few customers have mentioned that the product is difficult to clean. Okay, interesting. Some customers with certain types of beds. I think, beds, I mean, suggestions for improvements, address the durability issue. The manufacturer could consider using non-stick materials or design the product in a way that makes it easier to disassemble and clean. To improve the compatibility with different types of beds, the manufacturer could consider testing the product with a wider range of bed types and making adjustments to the design as necessary. So we just did that in a few seconds. You can analyze any product out there. So pretty crazy, right? You could do this for every single one that we do. And so review analysis. So they have these tools right on here. It is pretty crazy. So they have this customer profile. So you can say, who owns it? Of course, dog owners, pet parents, senior citizen, when. So, all this analysis on the product, and it drills in there too. So I want to show you what's possible, right? With the AI. Again, I would say, obviously the Helium 10 tool is what recommend. You're going to need a tool, but understand that quickly the AI ability. So this tool is connected, right? Based on grabbing the reviews and analyzing. Now this is probably going to go slow because we're on Zoom right now here, but it can do a full review on this whole product right here. So we will let that run for a second there. And then, again, this is ChatGPT here, and it's just overlaid. This is that AI PRM tool. So YouTube script creator, let's see here, YouTube script creator, how to change a tire, like how to pick a product to sell on Amazon, how to pick a winning product to sell on Amazon. Let's see here. All right, and so off it's going to magically go around this topic here, right? And literally you can just copy and paste it, and you can create, if you want to create your own video, this is on the content creation side, right? So, but all those prompts I showed you guys earlier, it can, you guys just plug and play, copy and paste into ChatGPT, and it will do it. ChatGPT on the left side, it will keep track of all of your chats, and then it will basically, you can, within that thread, you can basically, it will remember what's in that thread, so you can continue on that conversation around that. So let's go back for we can go deeper on this stuff too, but a little Q&A for a little bit here. Let me, and happy to go deeper around some of this stuff. Let me see if, I was going to pick up if, there's that, analyze there. Surely. So yeah, pretty amazing, what these tools can do quickly, especially, the ability to analyze thousands and thousands of reviews, to analyze the market, to analyze basically you name it, and it can do it. So let me pull back up here. So again, ChatGPT, super powerful tool. There's other tools you can leverage right now, and I showed you a couple of them. Some of them have, again, free trial. Some of them you got to pick and choose if it's worth it, for it as well too. But definitely a way to put your business on steroids here. You can build these businesses, analyze them so much faster than we've ever been able to done before. So let's jump into, we'll do some Q&A in just a second. I thought, yesterday we were talking about who we are, but just in terms of a little background that, Joey and I take pride that we're really a collection of experts in the industry that are partners of ours that come in and help us in all aspects of the business. So those of you that are in our coaching program, a lot of you guys know, because these people have come to present to you, or we've got it in the membership area. Matter of fact, all these people are in our membership area, whether it's influencer marketing, sourcing globally. Matt is one of our rock star coaches, right, as a PPC expert. Brian Johnson's an old school expert in the space. So we've got all of these people. Leo is an expert on SEO. He's one of the top guys on the planet for it. And Google Ads, Joey is awesome at Google Ads. We have people from all the different components of the space. So we bring in, there's a team of us and partners all around. Sean Hart is amazing at the email marketing and done for you, kind of follow up after your product. And of course, Joey as well too, and myself. So it is truly a team. We always say better together. And so just to give you an idea, even though Joey and I are here sharing this with you, we have a team of coaches and a team of rock star people in the space as well too. So let's do Q&A around. Happy to dig into any more of this things around you're finding your products, whether it's the Helium 10 or whether it is the AI tools, and we can go there. So, and then I put up on the screen again for those. We will give the opportunity, again, it's a bunch of guys on here already in our community, our coaching program. But, again, if this stuff is attractive to you, you're like, man, I really want to geek out with Joey around this Pinterest stuff and, Google ads and how you built the product and actually have conversations with us and get on Zoom calls with us, that kind of stuff, then this is how we do it. We only work with we have room for about 10 more people at a given time because we keep our team lean and mean, and our quality is like a big deal to us. So we really try to work with you closely. So again, that's how you can be considered for that, is you can scan that or go to amzinsiders.org/apply. A lot of like the AI stuff, we probably present on that monthly because it changes. So we can go deeper into these topics and get you guys access to all the aspects of the business. So, yeah. And so Joey, I'll pause there. Do you want to, should we tee up any thoughts you have or questions?
No, I like Rufino's comment that this is great, but it is a lot. Any way to prioritize areas for optimization, then tools to optimize. Yeah. And so I'm glad you're seeing that, because it is a lot with the AI, and that Jamie's really been one of the leaders in Amazon AI approach. And that's where he does run a mastermind, and we teach AI specific topics in the mastermind and in our coaching program. So yeah, you're right. This is kind of just like a lot being thrown at you on one video, but we like to all work together in our coaching program to help each other, is really what it is about. And Jamie kind of taught me that, because I was struggling with just some early stuff with the AI. And then I told Jamie, instead of being embarrassed, like, hey, I was having trouble with X, Y, and Z. And I told him, and he's like, well, yeah, this is actually a better approach. So yeah, I had the same feelings.
Yeah. Yeah. The other thing I would say with AI is ChatGPT is the challenge is that none of us are really conditioned to think about using it throughout the course of your day. So, one simple thing, you don't want to get overwhelmed with it. That's why you don't want to watch, every new tool that comes out on Instagram or the video or on TikTok. But if you think about anything in your daily life, or any, especially anything professionally or even personally, I challenge you to like search on ChatGPT for it to help you out. Right. So like if we have a legal contract, right, you get something that has a bunch of verbiage, you're like, I don't want to read all this. Put it in the ChatGPT, say, copy and paste it and say, tell me the pros and cons and summarize this document, right? And it will do that, right? If you, it's a great way to generate your idea too. If you're like, to help brainstorm ideas, like, hey, help me brainstorm things. You can do fun things with ChatGPT. Like you can say, hey, you're the CEO of our new enterprise. That's between me and you. I am going to be your human counterpart, right? And I'm going to take action. We have $1,000 budget and our goal is to make $100,000 in 30 days, right? Give me a list of instructions on what we should do and I will execute it as long as it's legal, something like that, right? So you can have fun ways to do that. You can do things like, I always like to tell, Joey's heard me say this 100 times now, is you always tell it that it's an expert, right? So you always, whatever you're having to do it, you want to put it in the mindset of, so when I have it help me write an email, like some of the emails you guys have received, right? Those were written by, or largely written by ChatGPT. We modify them, but I'll say, hey, you are a copywriting expert, right? So if I'm going to have it write the bullet points for my Amazon listing, I'll say, hey, you are an Amazon selling expert and you are a copywriting expert. Write 5 bullet points for, XYZ product in a way that's going to make customers really want to buy this product. And then sometimes I might follow up and say, hey, do that again, but this time do it 3 times better, right? So you can basically tell it what you want to do, and it's amazing. But my initial point was just, you have to train your mind to think about how to use these things. We didn't go into this today because we geek on it, but on the ChatGPT, there's now these little apps you can connect into it. So they call them plugins. So you can use it for everything for crazy, for your travel plans, for Instacart, right? Use Instacart for shopping. So you could say like, hey, give me, I want to make, give me the world's greatest jerk chicken recipe. And then you can plug it in and have it grab all of the ingredients into your cart from the local grocery store. So it's amazing what it can do. But, specific back to your Amazon stuff, I gave you some of those prompts earlier, and there's more. You can really help it through this process and do all this, really compress the time down that it takes takes to do this kind of stuff. Cool. Yeah. He says, how much does the coaching cost? Yes, I see some questions about that. Yeah. So we do have multiple programs on there. That's why it's by application only. There's nothing you can't buy your way into the program. You can't go to the link and say, hey, I'm signing up. Because we really do need to see if you're a good fit. Because we are actually putting our personal time towards helping you and building these businesses with you. Depending on your level of commitment, or depending on how much commitment you want from us, there's different packages that we have for you. But if you guys go to that amzinsiders.org/apply, then you can be considered for it. If nothing else, basically the way those calls work, just since you guys asked, is we're basically just going to understand where you're at, what your goals are, anything that's holding you back from getting to where you want to get to, and then seeing, how we might be able to help. So it's like really simple. There's no obligation to buy anything. And we've got a great group of people for it. So, so Nick says, I've been selling for 4 years. I have one product that was easily selling around 160,000 a year. Not amazing, but recently the listing hardly converts. A listing optimization expert if I don't get into your program. Yeah, we're happy to point you in the right direction, Nick. Yep. So that's a cool thing about, Joey and I think it's one of the things we're probably most proud of is that our relationships in the industry, and, there's a lot of mutual respect. The other top people in the industry that really look up to Joey and I, what we've done. I think we're a strong team together, along with, Matt, Maurice, we've got Jason, we got Travis. We have a team of people, but if we can help you ourselves, we will. But we also, like I said, the top SEO people in the world, the top ranking people in the world, on these specific topics are not only connected with, some of them are like our closest friends. So absolutely, Joey, we push people to wherever it can help them, right?
Yeah, definitely. And Nick is asking right now about somebody to help optimize a listing. Yeah, I'm happy to give you a couple resources of listing optimization. So yeah, I mean, our take is we want everybody to be successful selling on Amazon.
Yeah. And I didn't mean to clearly pop us off there, but yeah. So obviously we can help you a lot directly because we do this, but like I said, there's certain tech and things, the way things work for you guys, and it probably makes, kind of common sense is what we'll do is, let's say Joey and I go to an event, right? We're speaking we mentioned yesterday, we're speaking at an event in Chicago, and the night before there'll be a dinner with the other speakers, the other top people that are speaking. And so that's where a lot of the magic happens, because we have like side conversations, and someone will say like, hey, what are you doing right now for ranking products? My buddy David Cups, who we showed yesterday, who sold his business for $7 million. I'd shared something on social media, and David's over in Europe, and he messaged me like, hey, I think there's a new way to do that, to go about getting emails now for emails. Like, have you learned that way yet? He's like behind the scenes, we're just collaborating a lot. And so that's what we bring to our community. So we're at these events, we try to give as much value, just like we're giving to you. We'll give to, some of the top people in the industry, and vice versa. They're going to give back to us. And of course, the key is implementing, right? So we share a lot of part of the reason sometimes we can share a lot of our secrets is because we know like 98% of people out there won't execute. So if you want to make a difference and really differentiate yourself, it's about, and that's why, Joey and so many others on this call here, were in your same shoes. It was, right, the difference is Joey versus some other people, and other people like Joey, the difference between them and the people we, kind of our peer group in the industry is about the people that take action, right? So we talked, like, again, when I was doing this stuff and Joey was like on every call, she was executing, she was providing, she was taking action on her business herself, right? She had her Helium 10 login, and then she was pushing forward, because then you need to kind of fail forward. And, that's where we can help out, that you need to take action and get your business to grow. And yeah, and we have people, because of this AI stuff, we have several people that are doing million right now in sales, maybe 2-3 million. And, maybe they're doing 2 million last year, and they went back a little bit. So now they're like, they want to go from last to first. So that's why they've come back to us and asked for the help especially around the AI stuff, to help they don't get left behind. So they're doing this as well. So Joey, I put in the chat there for again, this is only for people that are serious. Don't, again, if you're looking to invest in yourself, and again, the people we hire, as part of our team are people you want access to those, again, we think the best people in the industry, along with ourselves, that's what this is about. It's not about one person. It's not about a guru. It's the reason why Joey and I partner together, is because we know it's not about any one of us. It's really about the team and helping you guys all win. So we want to help as many as we can. And that's what the purpose of this challenge is for today. So again, that last tool I showed you guys, like I've never shown that before. That is like hot off the presses. But those things will keep coming up, and those are the things we'll keep updating you on. And someone said, yeah, monthly. I think monthly, Joey's like, hey, let's do AI updates. Pretty much monthly, we're in the mix for that. So Joey, other thoughts or questions or anything else we have out there?
No, I'm just excited that all of you who are still here have stayed on this long. We still have a really good group on. So ask any questions. And tomorrow is going to be very exciting, because we'll dig into how you actually find your products to sell, meaning a little bit of sourcing and some more stuff. And if you want to watch this or day one, you can watch it on the Facebook page, and you'll still be getting an email into your free membership area that we're just gifting to you as a place where you'll have all 3 days sitting there that you can access anytime you want in the future.
Yeah, it's cool. Yeah, this is awesome. You guys, the questions have been great. Really excited. Again, the Facebook group is a way to continue to connect and share amongst each other. We will, obviously we'll email you guys, just keep you updated with the tools. And then I see several of you guys did book a call. We're going to have some special bonuses for you guys that for, committing to really, you're making an investment in yourself, right? At the time to learn this stuff. And again, I love learning. I think Joe and I both love kind of lifelong learning. We love learning about entrepreneurship. And so that's why we're always like, we're in a mastermind that costs $30,000 a year. And every Wednesday, like today, I didn't jump. Joey messaged me like, hey, right, we invest in ourselves, because that's how we keep ourselves to the forefront of the industry. And we're always learning new things. And you need to continually find inspiration and be around other people, because the thing about these businesses, they're really powerful and cool, but you can't go down to your neighborhood party or to your local restaurant or your friends locally and get a lot of help with this stuff, right, Joey? I mean, when you have a lot of friends, but probably when you were launching your business, you needed to find someone else, a community to help you, right?
Yeah, I actually don't talk to my friends really about selling, and I didn't when I was first selling. And it was interesting. People are like, wow, the UPS guy is like always at your house. And I was like, yeah, we're just friends. But yeah, it's interesting, because if you start, like my experience was I started to just mention it a little bit, and it was really, people didn't totally understand, because they think about Amazon more as like shopping, or was I trying to go work in the warehouse? So it was important to me to tie into a community that completely understood what I was trying to do and where I wanted to go. And I wanted to be around people who had already done it, right? They were already successful, because I didn't want to hear any of the negative stuff. Like, why are you doing that? That's not going to work. It's like, you don't know if it's going to work until you try. And also, one big point, and anybody who was on early heard me say this, your first product that you find, it doesn't have to define the rest of your life, right? Your first product may or may not be as successful as you want it to be, but you can shift and pivot. It's just more important that you get the momentum going and you start selling and you learn how to sell than to drive yourself crazy over the exact product.
Yeah, no, that's a great point. I'm just taking a look through another question. Yeah, it was good. I see Joey. Yeah, she put her Instagram up there as well too. Yeah, I see again several of you guys have reached out to book calls. So that is great. But yeah, it's a lot of fun, right? So the business is exciting to launch your products. We know that's why we're helping you guys with this part here, because we know this is the number one thing. If you launch your product, then you're going to be successful. If you don't launch your product, you're not going to have a chance. As long as you launch your product and you understand the other steps with it and you don't overcomplicate it, you don't want to guess, right? So that's kind of why, you want to follow the path that other people. There's a phrase like success leaves clues. So you want to follow those that, are successful in the space, and you can follow the clues that we leave, or in our case, just like direct conversations with us. The way someone asked, the coaching program, the way it works is, so you get access to us Monday through Friday, one-on-one access to us, like directly to an app via our phones. You get to message us, you can type us, or you can leave us. So we get direct, it's private, just between you. No one else sees it other than you. And then it's Joey, myself, and our coaching team. So we're all like, it's like you get like 5 of us all paying attention to you to help you through it Monday through Friday. That's what's really unique and stands about what we do, is really that component. What's also unique is every week we do these live. It's like basically going to a live event and getting the top presenters on the planet in the industry, sharing to you, and you can ask them directly, ask them questions. We are, obviously that includes myself and Joey are presenting periodically, but it changes the different topics. So all year long. So every single week, and you get all of that. It's all included. The content's included with you as well too. So so you get access to that, plus the community, the ability to do that. So we talked about yesterday about helping like the build is to exit the brands. We also have expertise to help you sell when you come to sell. So when Joey was going to exit, or talking about it, I basically worked for one of the leaders in the space to help people exit. So I can, we can help you guys talk through and plan for how to run your business so you can get that big payday at the end. So I know we're here at the product selection stage. You're not necessarily thinking about how you're going to exit, but we've got it covered from the start here to helping you get that, that the biggest payday you're ever going to get with your business is the day you exit and sell it to someone else. So we can help you on that too. So that's kind of what it's about. It's a lot of fun. It's again, our mastermind, the mastermind we're in is 30,000. It's nowhere near that investment. So we make it as reasonable as possible. And we go deeper into this product selection. We can do, again, Zoom call with you guys to kind of really hone in this process if it's helpful. So awesome. Well, cool. And I know, again, the calendar, I think is getting pretty close to filling up. And Shane, awesome. Shane's in our program. You're here in Georgia, right? You're here in Atlanta. So that's awesome. I always love it when people are here in where I'm at. Of course, Joey's in Austin, but Shane, really excited to have you aboard. And Shane's one of our AMZ Insiders members here. We have some others too Joey, we have some others that are on right now still with us.
Yes, there's a lot of people on. But yes, I can see, I think Gary's still on, Anand is here, Andrew, Debbie, Elizabeth. Yeah, we got a lot of our insiders.
Awesome.
Calvin, we just hung out with you at SellerCon, and Nicole's on. We saw Anand at SellerCon.
So it's the Debbie's. Yep. Oh, Debbie's here. Awesome. Yeah. So
Debbie.
So it's a very kind of real community over time. We love meeting people in person when they're able to come to an event. Like, so we saw several of them. Like I said, Anand was there. We had we also had Calvin there.
Kenneth was there. He can't log on right now.
Oh, Kenneth. Yeah, it was fun. It was good. And and like Maurice, one of our coaches, he was with us. He went through the program like in 2018 with us. He does really well in supplements. So if any of you guys are interested in like supplements, which is basically consumable products, things that you can continuously, consumer continues to rebuy from you. Maurice has a ton of experience in that. Again, lessons learned. He can help share with you on that front. And we're excited. We've got a really good team, and we think we're passionate about what we do. And like I said, we're really excited to help all of you guys that are in the group here already with us as part of our program, and excited to talk with a few more of you guys that are interested in looking to take that next step with us. So I think from there, Joey, do you have something else?
No, did we answer Shabaz's bestseller rank question on Helium 10? It just says, do you consider average Do you consider average product bestseller rank in Helium 10 while selecting a product to sell?
So just it's a good question. So bestseller rank is, obviously it's basically a representative of how competitive that product or how well it's selling. So if it has a BSR, a best selling rank of 1, it's a number 1 ranked thing in the entire category, right? So it's like super, super popular. It's killing it. And you can click on Amazon.com and see what the rankings of every product is. And with your product, when you're selling on Amazon, you get a feel for like, oh, my product is ranked, in the top 10,000. And it differs by category, how many products are in each category, but like top 10,000 BSR, you might be selling it like, you might be doing, that product might be doing $40,000 a month for you in sales. So pretty good. But as that number goes, lower. So the answer to the question is, if usually we don't want something that's like in the top 200 or top 300 BSR, because usually it's going to be super popular. But of course, it's just basically a reflection of the sale. So you can basically use it. I tend not to look at that as much when I'm actually researching product. More, I just look at what the average sales are, because that's what that number kind of ties to. But when I'm actually on my own products, I'm always, you're seeing the BSR, and then within the subcategory, we're seeing where we rank. Because if you're number 1 there, you get the bestseller badge. So, and you'll just start getting a feel of what that bestseller rank equates to. Or you'll see, like, as your sales start, improving in the key rank, you'll see your BSR will start, you'll go from 9,000 down to 5,000 down to 1,000, it'll start improving. But yeah, so it's just an equivalent to the sales method, and you don't necessarily need to pay attention as much when you're first looking at products to sell. Cool. Awesome. When do you know when to back away from a product idea? Some pages obviously have lots of copycats. Is there still room to improve, or just find the one that has no copycat listings? So that's a great tip, Sam. And we'll do some, it is important to go through some things when we do like the Zoom calls with our coaching with our members, to kind of validate the product ideas with them. We want to peel back the onion a little bit and look at the competitive landscape. We want to see the trends of that category too. So is that category like 2015, the fidget spinner was like skyrocketed. It was a trend, right? And so you want to be careful, make sure you're not dealing with a certain trend. You want to make sure that, within a given year or a given part of the year, that you're understanding, is this the seasonality of a product, right? So we use the example pool floats. We understand that pool floats are going to sell better in the spring and summer than they are, in November. So you want to understand the measurement of that product and what that looks like around that. You want to check some of the pricing of the top sellers in that area. So the main competitors, are they like feeling a lot of pricing pressure? Are they dropping their price so it's going down, or are they holding pretty steady, right? We don't want to be in categories or products where, we're going to lose kind of pricing power. So you want to understand that. So yeah, there's some of those things you want to make sure there. But the reality is Amazon's growing, e-commerce is growing. There's new products, there's new opportunities all the time, right? Just think about, forget about Amazon, just think about shopping, right? And stores and people buying stuff, that there's always more and more opportunity out there. There's always new products being invented. I mean, the iPhone, 2007, which now is a while back, but before then, that's $1 trillion industry that didn't even exist, right? Now there's AI. There's going to be all these new products that are going to be AI driven or, related things. There's always just new things, the health category, all these categories, pet, there's always new innovation happening and new opportunities at all times. And so, yeah, you just want to validate the products and then leverage the power of Amazon because it's so strong. Anything to add, Joey? I think you're on mute. You pulled a Jamie.
I know. And it's so funny because I was like rolling my eyes at you for doing that. No, but I was just going to grab my podcast link and say,
oh yeah,
but he wanted to listen to my podcast.
Yeah. I mean, the most popular episode, and we have close to 50 episodes now. The number one listened to episode is Joey's story, the 0 to 1 million episode, which was like one of the first few episodes. Yeah. Grab that if you don't mind. That would be great to check out. And then just make sure you guys subscribe to it and listen to it. Right. So again, part of being successful as an entrepreneur is you have to continuously challenge yourself to improve. And how can you do that? I do that with like, I'm driving to the gym and I'm not going to listen to music. I'm going to listen to a podcast, right? And it may be Joey's latest episode, or maybe another episode in the industry, because I want to learn, right? Why don't I use that time I'm driving to learn? Same thing, if I'm on the treadmill or whatever, like, hey, let me listen to a podcast around the stuff. So yeah. And again, if you guys just go to your phone, if you look up Amazon, you should find it. Or if you look up fearless sellers, you'll find it. And of course, Joey gave you the link right there.
Yeah.
The Uber driver story. Yeah. That's awesome too. Yeah. That's awesome. It reminded me when you said earlier that, like, with our neighbors, because my other neighborhood, we had a little clubhouse, and a lot of successful people that live in my neighborhood. And of course, none of them do. There's another e-commerce guy, like probably the most successful guy in the neighborhood is another e-commerce guy, also in the cell phone accessory space. But most of them are nothing to do with this, right? And people always ask, what do you do? And we're like, I sell stuff. Like, I never tell people what I'm doing, because we don't need to, right? We just do our stuff. We help our community. We'll tell you guys what we're doing, but I'm not telling the neighbors and all my curious people about how we're, how we make the money we make, blah, blah, blah. So, but anyways, the reason I say that is because when I was on that Uber ride for my son's lacrosse tournament up in Delaware last summer, it's coming up on like a year. I think it was, or maybe it was a fall. I can't remember if it was in the fall or the summer, but probably a fall tournament. And same thing when I'm in an Uber, right? You're not like telling people what you do, but again, admired. Here's a guy who's driving his Uber, who's like, I'm going to ask everyone what they do and see if it's something that's interesting to me. So maybe it's a contact help. So sure enough, he pulled it out of me. And the next thing he's like, hey, do you mind if I get a hold of you? Can I connect with you? And next thing you know, and Joey did a lot of work with it, helped him a ton, given her own track record and experience. And yeah, it was an awesome. What did he sell? He sold like $10,000 in his first month right out of the gate.
Yeah. Yeah. And it was really fun coaching him and just seeing the excitement, but also like the fear of, wait, this is really happening. What's next? My inventory is going to run out. And that's really the fun part of coaching, and the fun part of selling is when you have the sales coming in and you get to navigate and troubleshoot everything that's happening. And so I leaned on our community a lot. And that's also why I like coaching, because I know the feeling of what it feels like when your sales start coming in, and in that excitement, but also the, I'm going to run out of inventory. What am I going to do?
Yeah. No, exactly. And it's those episodes are really great too. I really enjoyed listening to them too, because it's funny when I listened to the episode between you and John, and I joined, actually I was on it as well for some of it, or I was on it, but you guys, you both got to the conversation. It was funny for me to learn, like, John as an entrepreneur, like, what he had already been thinking on, like how his mindset was as an entrepreneur to go about this. And so I do think that will be helpful for you guys, no matter where you're at, just to hear the different entrepreneurial journeys and stories. And that is, the cool thing on the podcast is you hear, not just the tactics, and those are important. You want to pick up new things from there, but you hear some of the journeys and the mindsets, and that, hey, it's not like everyone, that it's just a magic bullet, but when you understand some of that, some of the human components that go with the opportunity that Amazon is, then it, you can make it your own and make it real. And John's story was like, I thought out of the blue, he was just asking me in the Uber, but little did I know he was already hustling on the side, and he was trying to figure out how he could make some additional money. And he was dedicating X amount of time to, how to figure this out. And he was planning to do something with Amazon, but he didn't know, like, there's a backstory for everyone. And, the same thing with Joey before, I just like, wow, this is a ton of success. And then you learn like, okay, this is, they've got some experience in entrepreneurship, and they took notes, and this is why they did this. They're coachable, they're action takers. So you can find the common threads and try to apply it to yourself, and also kind of identify, where you need to improve and where you may need to surround yourself with other people that can help you there. Right. Because we all have strengths and weaknesses. So, that's the beauty of some of these things here. Shabazz says, what strategy would you follow if you're running out of inventory? Increase price to reduce sales velocity, or let it go out of stock
Yeah.
at higher BSR. So I don't know if Joey and I will have the same answer to this question or not, but we will.
What is your answer, Jamie? Never run out of stock? Is that your answer?
Well, yeah, that would be the ideal answer, but that you'd both be like, well, that didn't technically answer the question. It is a really good question because intuitively you think, which it's Shabazz is, you're knowledgeable and smart because the way you ask the question, you kind of cover the both issues, because without a lot of knowledge, you may think just raise the price until the point that, so you get as much profitability to go outside. And I have done that in certain scenarios. And I think, I know Joey, I think in your scenario, you probably did it too, because there's two factors. One, so a lot of times we just let it run out of stock quickly, assuming that you have a plan in place, like you're air shipping the product in, you're getting it quickly. So the gap isn't too long, because we want what you said, the better BSR. We want, which is technically the bestseller rank to be, at 1,000 versus 8,000. So it runs out of stock at 1,000. The A9 algorithm on Amazon remembers that, wow, this product was at 1,000 BSR. So when it comes back into stock, you're going to rank quicker. So that is where I try to lean to, is assuming that there's not going to be a long gap. If I know like you're in trouble because you're not going to have the product in for a month again, then in that case, you may just squeeze as much profit and try to slow the sales down to try to close the gap from when you're going to have it. But ideally, I would actually not raise the price and let it run out of stock, but differs by product and situation. So Joey, what's your experience with it?
Yeah, I think that's a good answer. It does differ by product. Yeah, I definitely raised the price to try to slow sales. That didn't really help. And one of the times I ran out of stock 5 times. But one of the times I was in a real big mess because I was having trouble, because remember I had said one of my products was heavy, and shipping it into Amazon and just getting it all done took an extra, 2 to 3 weeks. So if you run out of stock, if you're running out of stock, and then on top of what it takes to get from your supplier, you're adding in 2 to 3 weeks because it's a heavy product. So it has to be put on a pallet a certain way. I also decided to do FBM, fulfilled by merchant. So that meant some of my products were being shipped from Amazon. Some of it I had could have been out of my garage, or I ended up also having to rent a small little workspace, like a warehouse. And one time when I ran out of stock, I had oversold on FBM by like 50 units, and my products were coming from China, and I was having some of it modified. So I had to learn to get real scrappy and raise the price for sure, but I still ran out of stock, and I had to find the products in the US, be able to source it and get it out the door in the US. And that entailed, it took me 5 full days before I was like fully, like my listing was back up and I was able to fulfill orders. But I got those 50 orders fulfilled by finding a way in the US to get it done. And maybe I should tell this like in-depth story on my podcast, because it's like, it's the real life world of selling, right? It's not all pretty. It's your own business. Things happen. But when you're selling on Amazon, the worst thing you can do is not fulfill your orders or cancel orders, or running out of inventory is bad, but it's worse when you've oversold and you have to cancel orders and you're out of inventory. So I came up with several ways to care about my customers and put the customers first. So yeah, it was a wild ride. I'm not going to do that again. There's inventory management tools and there's ways to not run out of inventory. But as a new seller, and I'm telling you this, it wasn't like I sold 10 units. I was approaching $300,000 a month, and I'd only been selling for 3 months. So I was a very new seller. And instead of crying in my car, I reached out to Jamie and his team, and I talked through all different scenarios. And I basically, the first step was like finding good mentors and help, and just going over like, hey, what should I do? But if you're going to run out of stock, like now, if I start to run out of stock, or get lower on my inventory, I do still increase my price just a little bit. But that's also risky because you can't just throw the price up like 20% on your product, because you're also going to upset the Amazon algorithm. So there's methods and rhythms to everything you do. Sorry, that was a really long answer, but it's like, it was a really big part of my selling journey. So good question.
Yeah, that's a great question. And it's real. It's part of the strategy and the fun, and part of like 300,000. And there is this mindset and understanding of how powerful this stuff really can be. Right. And so sometimes it's not just a fear. A lot of times people just have self-limiting beliefs, right? They can't picture that, hey, I can sell that I can sell millions of dollars, that I can sell multiple millions. And a lot of people have exited these brands for, $1 million, $5 million, $10 million, right? They get into it like, I never thought this was possible, right? When we first started, my next door neighbor at the time, I was a chief operating officer for a basically a for-profit education company backed by private equity, blah, blah, blah. And he was selling cell phone cases out of his garage. Like, he started it because he was trying to replace his wife's income, who was staying home with their child. And she was making like $80K a year. So he was trying to do that. We had no idea this could be a multi-million, 50 million, 20 million, 50 million, $100 million. But you don't really think about it. So we all can have our self-limiting beliefs. That can help with your inventory too, because you don't the things by optimizing your listing, using now ChatGPT to analyze things, analyze reviews, right? Understand your market, understand your customer, have a team of experts around you to help with this stuff, right? You get the stuff, you should be, it's like you have what you need, then you have to just execute, and then you get some data. And I said, there's nothing better than, I think, Joey, that you and I genuinely get more excited when we have like someone we're working with have success, or the level of success that we're seeing, more so than even our own stuff, sell. So, right. So when you're launching your product, or even just looking at the product, we were in the SellerCon event last week, and we're looking at one of our guys here looking at his, it's confidential, but it's like, wow, that's really impressive. I really like what we're doing. And we're just talking through different options, what they're thinking about, how to go about it. Like, wow, I really, it's awesome to be part of it, and hopefully you'll want to see this person get to, 5 million, if they want to get to 8 figures, get to 10 million, and they can do it. They can absolutely do it, with the right efforts and the perseverance and the planning, if that's the goal, right? If that's what they're trying to get to. So it's kind of the magic of thinking big there. I appreciate all the comments and feedback. Hopefully you guys let us know in the chat, if you guys are paying attention still here, that, if it was helpful, any feedback you have around the Pinterest, around the Etsy, some of the Helium 10 stuff, which we're going to go more into, which again, you guys should have your Helium 10 tool already, right? The amzproductsproduct.com. So you can play around with it and go, wait, Jamie, how come it looks different than what you were doing? Or, hey, I've found other ways to do it. The ChatGPT, which is free, you can use that. Some of those tools, right? We showed you, we gave you all those prompts on the screen. Take a picture of it. You're going to have the replay. We can get you guys copies of the slides as well too. So yeah, Amy says, thank you. Debbie, thank you too. Enjoy the rest of your day. So yeah, it's awesome. You guys are great. I always like capturing some of this stuff because I like to share it with the rest of our team too. So Rufino says, thank you. Shabbat says, thanks for a wonderful session. Andrew. So yeah, pretty awesome. And again, for those of you guys, again, a bunch of you guys are already in our program, but for those of you guys that are booking a call, we look forward to talking to you guys here. We open up a few slots more because it looks like we're about filled up, but awesome stuff, everyone. This is, you guys inspire us too to give more. We're going to get one more day here, right? You guys, the goal is for you guys to get tangible results. So make sure you take action and let us know how we can help you, right? And look forward to talking to a bunch of you that did. You guys now are far enough into it, that again, if you're looking for it, you can start jumping into it ahead of some time. You can get kind of the top of the list here for those that do apply for us or scan, because there's going to be a bunch of people that are going to be by the end of the week that are all going to be trying to get in. And like I said, we've got a lean and mean team that we've got for some of you that take advantage of it. But yeah, we can go deeper on all of this stuff and really help you guys win. So, and for those that are already with, of course, reach out via Voxer, the tool. And I know some of you guys have connected with Matt already, Maurice, Joey, and I'll be jumping in as well. So Joey, any final thoughts before we head in tomorrow for Kelvin? Thanks, Joey and Jamie, for amazing content, helpful information. Great to see you here, Kelvin. Kelvin is a lot of fun, a really smart guy too on the development side, who can actually probably help us do some other things. So I just says, thank you. Great session. Chelsea says, thank you. Andrew, thank you. Awesome. You guys rock. So Joey, final thoughts, and we'll take it from there.
Yeah. Great day. Thank you all for bringing great energy, great questions, and get your products into your lists, and we'll dig in more tomorrow. So see you tomorrow.
All right. See you all. All right.